Hey guys, what's up? Pixel Art Builder 583 here again, and welcome for another edition of the PAB Magazine. Those last few weeks I had to endure have been quite the hassle, to say the least. But I will explain why that happened very shortly. Before I do, though, I will say that I didn't like very much of the period, having made last month feel like an absolute waste. But before I drone on about that, we shall now get on with this sort of thing I said we would. Alright, so now with that in mind, let me discuss where I've been over the past 3 or so weeks. So, for those of you who were not in the know for this, I ended up having a critical PC failure. What kind, might you ask? It was one of those kinds where it had something to do with one of those blips where the CPU was fried, or so to speak. It must have been that, though I never expected it to happen so suddenly to the point where my PC would be unable to turn on. Me and my family tried giving it a few days, and then once we came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to turn on, we had to get that PC shipped to its manufacturer. Over that time, I've been messing around in a backup computer I had, which is a laptop, by the way, and I treated it like it was a desktop PC. Then I decided to try and do something with my video plans for the time being, which was to try and get a few series done in a limited capacity. A few episodes in one series I managed to get done in particular, but then when word came that it was going to arrive, I tried not to keep my hopes too high or too low, but alas, it was quite the bad mood, if I'm completely honest. Because I did not know for sure where all my data would have went, but as of now, since my PC is officially back, it's all in good hands again. As a result of that experience, I've been trying to keep a vow to myself that I would back up my data at least much more often than I would usually do. I could try backing it up for at least once a week, but I'm not usually known for being a man of my word. So, we'll see what happens as we go along the road for this year. Speaking of happenings, we've got Sam wanting to chime in on some of those, so let's do that.
Thank you, Pixel Art, and wow, what a huge turn. But now that he's done his story about this, we're now going to talk about Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft. Over the past few weeks, while Pix was using his laptop, we managed to communicate a few new things for Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft. For starters, we have Season 8 Episode 3, which we have been scripting for a bit of a while. But now, that's roughly done, though it will not go without the revision part, which requires tons more communication throughout the team. The reason Pix was not able to do that until now was because he had a few motivation problems he was staggering against, and he was afraid he was kinda cutting in and out throughout an entire session with the laptop microphone. The same also applies to episodes 4 and 5 of this season, which by the way are undergoing development themselves. As we speak, we are making sure that dialogue is fairly represented throughout certain characters, as well as matching all other teammates' visions of their own characters. In simpler terms, we are making sure all the dialogue is good enough to go and ready for recording and sprite making, so we are taking a few steps back from our original expectations to ensure quality over quantity at best. Speaking of quality versus quantity, some of that's also going to come into play for Microsoft Sam Reads Funny Signs and Errors Mark II. What do we mean, exactly? Over a certain topic about that on Discord, there were some people who thought that errors for the text-to-speech community were a burned-out genre for the community as a whole. Motivation has hit rock bottom for most of the people. They were mentally drained for that, and also some of the younger generations did not encounter the horror throughout Microsoft's history that some of us ended up experiencing. and we genuinely agreed in some of that, considering Pix was one of those people who were having severe motivation problems. So he was not sure what he wanted to do with the series in particular, since he originally had a few passions for the series until the genre started dying down. Though for the signs, that's another can of worms. Other than that, we are starting to come up with newer plans for the series as a whole, while also remaining creative about it. One of those approaches that we'll be taking is that we'll be limiting the series down to a few episodes, with at least 30 of them and 50 at most. We've also been thinking about adding a few other genres besides signs and errors to help support that series, as well as keeping true to what the series originally stood for. However, nothing is set in stone just yet, and we will keep updating things about it, if we have to, so that it does not look like we are giving out false promises or anything of the sort. Because the last thing I want is any slander made against us that speaks out against what we do, because we do want to be creative and stay true to our original intentions. There will be more down the line later, but for now, it is what it is. With all that said and done, let's get straight into the Left 4 Dead 2 stuff. So there have been a few things we were talking about in the previous edition, which were like the crossover, as well as the few things we said we were gonna do. Speaking of that, we're gonna change up a few more plans in the main series of Microsoft Sam and Friends Play Left 4 Dead 2, so that things will be a bit more consistent in terms of how we do things and such. For starters, episode 4 is already finished, as you can see, but not episode 5. The reason for that is because we're postponing episode 5 for the time being until a few other pieces of work in that same series are completed. We are also going to set up something different, one segment that's going to change the way we play forever. At least for some of us, if you get the hint there. Though the result of the entire change of that is that custom campaign attempts may also make way for a few more campaigns to do. We will not confirm or deny anything for that matter yet, though we will keep you posted as time goes on. Also, another thing to do while we are on the subject of L4D2 is the crossover that we were planning to do at some point. We are still trying to make that happen, though there are a few upsides and downsides that affected how it's going to play out. I will not explain any of them in detail, because it will totally waste my virtual breath. For that matter, though, we have a fair share of people who are willing to take part, though also we have those who are either busy or having similar technical problems like Pix did not so long ago. And due to those reasons, as well as Pix having a vast boatload of series to manage, we will work on this one in our own pace. For now, however, we are going to set that in the side and plan more of that before we actually go ahead and execute those plans. We have no idea when we'll do that, but it's not guaranteed to be immediately. With that one being taken care of, we are going to talk about Microsoft Sam Plays Killing Floor 2 next. I know, it's been a hell of a while since we've done a single episode of that series, though we were having a few roster problems with it, and we were trying to find good times when we would start an episode. There are also a few plans that are planned to be changed, considering that 1, Pix was feeling intellectually powerless without his PC, and 2, he's considering adding in a few more potential collaborators who have a game. I will not give out any names, but there have been some people who felt they didn't have time for some of it now, and it left Pixel Art doing most of the work and planning for a few potential episodes. Just imagine being one of the sole people who would work on one thing. Not blaming anyone, no. But still, there are going to be some plans we intend to change and switch up as a last-ditch effort of keeping the series alive. But anyway, I've talked for long enough. I'm going to transition us over to Mary for her topic.
Thanks, Sam. Now then, we are on to Microsoft Mary Plays Shantae and the Seven Sirens. I know it's been a while since we released a few episodes of that, but considering low motivation that was getting worse, the PC failure has signaled a wake-up call for us to start doing them at some point. In case this was not said before, there are a few episodes that have been pre-recorded back in October of last year, and they weren't even edited out, since But as I said just now, we are going to let the thing serve as a wake-up call to do the episodes. There are 6 episodes that have been pre-recorded at this time, though don't expect them to arrive on a regular basis. I know some understand that, it's more so just the mindset we are trying to maintain every now and then. There may also be a few twists and turns, as that story goes on, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I'm going to switch over to Scotty for his topic to cover.
Thank you, Mary. Now then, we're on to rate our Overseer Scotty's Retrocraft. Of course, the episode rate has been staggering very slowly in terms of how many episodes, which would go to have me say that I may end up dropping 3 more for season 1 before that season ends. I also have a version planned out for that, though at the end of the day, it's an experiment I'll try doing rather than it being forced. And no, the beta versions are not out of the question for that. I may end up making a few worlds at the very least, one a modded world, one a pure survival world, and one a permanent vanilla world, with a fixed version of my choice. There may be 1 or 2 worlds around that, though that's gonna be for experimentation purposes. But, nothing is set in stone yet, we're just experimenting possibilities if anything, while at the same time unlocking some relics of the past. So far, nothing promising has struck our fancy yet, though I am strongly confident we will reach that point eventually. If anything, it's an evolution story within itself. But anyway, I'll pass the floor on to Mike for his own topic.
Thanks, Scotty. Now then, on to Microsoft Mike Plays Terraria. Originally, I was going to have a few episodes where I would explore my world via multiplayer, but then I realized this may or may not be worth some time if there isn't someone there to keep the consistency up. So, we've been considering changing a few plans around, even though Pix has yet to reacquaint himself with the game. So I could as well consider holding off on the multiplayer episodes for a little, while longer at least. Even though it's not easy finding time and motivation to do something like that these days, I do know that something will spark a synapse of motivation or two. Though I'm not entirely going to get my hopes too high for this one, since I feel like, whenever I do, there is some disappointment going around left and right. But to make a long story short, I'm doing a bit more single-player stuff on Terraria for the time being, until we can get some ground on when to actually do multiplayer. But right now, we are gonna go back to Sam for 2 more topics he wants to cover.
Thank you, Mike. Alright, time to carry on with the topics that I want to cover. This one's about Microsoft Sam Replays Portal 2. Yes, as you can see from the previous few uploads, that series is back. Though this time, it's added a few new challenge mode episodes to help fill the void, until there's a suitable time for co-op mode. Only 5 episodes of said challenge mode have come so far, though before the PC failure, Pix pre-recorded the last 4. Whenever he gets the time for the editing, that's when priority may be put on those 4 episodes, as well as a few other bursts worth of content to tide everybody over, until the bigger topics arrive. However, be warned that even when those episodes are completed, it may still take a long time for us to get our shit together for the co-op portion. But not to fret, that doesn't mean it's dead in a ditch. If it was, Pix would let us know in advance. Balances of content still have yet to be made, and it's harder for us than ever to do so, if you catch my drift there. But I digress. Other than all that, the other 4 episodes are coming soon. And now, we're on to Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft Dungeons. As you can see, plans have been changed from the ground up, since 1, there was no way I was gonna have an immediate approach of tackling those levels immediately without any motivation for that, and 2, I think it makes more logical sense for the order of episodes to be kept planned the way it is now for the time being, at least, until we come across more possibilities we may have to tinker around with. So, as a consequence for the outline change, 5 more episodes have been pre-recorded by Pix himself. Albeit it came from his laptop during the time he had to wait for his desktop PC to come back. There is also lag that would usually render the point of 60 FPS worthless in the recordings themselves, even though technically 60 FPS is possible. There is however some potential that some PC resources could be used a lot, as well as other shit like that. But all in all, 3 3 of the episodes have been already uploaded, as you can see. 2 more are going to appear for this series, before we go straight to other priorities. And it may or may not be sometime after the portal to content. I cannot confirm or deny that. But alas, now I'm passing the torch on to Pixel Art for the last topic to cover.
Thank you, Sam. Now then, we're going to discuss a few things on a bit more the melancholy side, which are going to be things such as a few series that are still under development, as well as a so-called secret project that was originally under development. I'll tackle the latter first. So, you know about the secret project that me and one of my friends were going to cover? Yeah, that was none other than a Team Fortress 2 project that 1, I lost motivation for, and 2, some kind of discussion about it that involved the bots that were incoming on certain casual maps, and that already ruined our perspectives on that game as a whole. In layman's terms, that resulted in a hard conclusion saying that's no longer going to happen. I'm sorry that we got everyone's hopes up on that one, but frankly, I prefer to show and not tell, not the other way around. So yeah, the TF2 project is therefore cancelled, and TF2 as a whole will truly no longer happen in my channel. I'm sorry for all the fans who enjoyed it over the course of time. There are also series that are still under development, such as Microsoft Sam and Friends Play Zombie Army Trilogy, as well as Substance Overseer Fire and Friends Play Left 4 Dead 2. But the thing is, only their intros have been uploaded so far with nothing else related to them to follow, not even episodes of those series. So, as a result, for the time being, I decided to put them on private because I didn't want to keep everyone waiting so long for the episodes to arrive. I decided that if there was only an intro that was posted and months have passed since, why even bother posting that intro in the first place? But unlike with the now cancelled TF2 projects, we're still planning series such as that. So I'm not going to get them down the dumps just yet. But at the same time, no promises that any day there would be a release. We just have to, however, convince a few more people to join up with each respective series in particular so that things click more consistently. Now that we got each topic out of the way, you know what time it is. One of the mandatory recaps for editions like these. 1. I've been away because of PC issues. 2. Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft is reaching some progress and will be communicated through. 3. Microsoft Sam Reads Funny Signs and Errors Mark II is going for quality over quantity in terms of episodes. 4. Microsoft Sam and Friends Play Left 4 Dead 2 will have a green light for custom campaign attempts as well as some plan changes. 5. Microsoft Sam Plays Killing Floor 2 may also go through a few more plan changes. 6. Microsoft Mary Plays Shantae and the Seven Sirens still has yet for the 6 pre-recorded episodes to be edited. 7. We will have some plans for Raid Overseer Scotty's Retrocraft, most particularly in the last episodes of Season 1. 8. Microsoft Mike Plays Terraria will hold off on multiplayer episodes for a little while longer. 9. Microsoft Sam Replays Portal 2 will go through edits of the last 4 Challenge Mode episodes. 10. Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft Dungeons still has 2 more episodes left to be edited out. 11. The Microsoft Sam Plays Team Fortress 2 project is gone now, and the intros to Zombie Army Trilogy and Substance Overseer Fire and Friends Play Left 4 Dead 2 are now privated to give more time for planning. And that's all for this one, folks. If you guys enjoyed that one, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future if you haven't done so. This is Pixel Art Builder 583 signing off. Peace out.